Perfect now. And all right, welcome everybody to episode number 2 of the Nerdge podcast. We're adopting some new names this go around, so of course we have the classic Beef Supreme with us here today. I'm adopting the new moniker of Big Head.
Okay, you gotta explain why the name is Big Head though.
Yeah, so the joke was that last podcast, I was leaned in so close compared to the rest, and it made it look like I had a giant head. But I made the argument that I
made it look.
Well, I mean, like again, I'll just show the viewers. Like now, I'm at a normal framing position, and it's still like. It goes like watermelon, cantaloupe. So maybe that should be our first topic of discussion. What melon is your head most closely in resemblance
but
to?
I still don't have a name though. I gotta figure out a name. You got beef.
I thought you were just little head.
I don't want to be a little head.
There's a big head. There's gotta be a little head.
It's Beef Supreme, Big Head, and Little Head.
Yeah, you do need a name.
Or what's opposite of Beef Supreme? Like,
it's like kale salad.
Chicken little.
Chicken Little. No. That's... Oh gosh. Do you guys remember that movie? That movie was very strange.
I was gonna say.
Like,
yeah, I only remember like
really
little parts, but I just remember it's like the sky is falling, but also it's like not actually the sky. It's like aliens or something.
It was aliens, yeah. It was a very weird interpretation of it, and it's Zach Braff. Is that his? Yeah, that's his name. Hey, the guy from Scrubs.
Oh, I don't know.
He was the guy who did Chicken Little's voice. So it's just
is he the one that looks like Dax Shepard?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a very good comparison.
they look. I've seen like photos where they take like each other's faces and like swap them, and it's identical. It's like the one I sent you the other day. What's the one I sent you the other day? It was like Harry Potter and Frodo.
Oh yes, yeah, Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood.
Yeah, that was creepy.
So Beef Supreme, weird. Have you ever seen this? Mm-mm. It's like a common like nerd thing, but Tyler and I were talking, or I guess to the artist who has yet to be named, and I were talking, and it's they have the same face parts, but like arranged differently. So like the same eyes, eye color, nose, etc. But it's like they're differently spaced around their heads.
I said it was like if you asked like two different artists to like interpretively like draw the same person. It's like they have like different art styles, but like yeah, it's super weird. And then they did like a mix match where they like did half and half, and it's crazy. Also like them, and also there's like the one with Timothy Chalamet and the girl from Stranger Things. What is her name?
Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh,
yeah.
Natalia Dyer?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. That one's weird, though, because, like, they look similar, but also, like, their face shape is so unique, and that they line up absolutely perfect is so weird.
It's because they're... Did you ever see that, what kind of handsome are you meme?
No.
It was a meme that went around where it's like, what kind of handsome are you? Eagle, dog, bear, or lizard? And Timothy Chalamet was the he was the representation of lizard handsome. Ryan Gosling was the representation of eagle handsome. Who was dog? I can't remember who was dog. And then Henry Cavill. I
feel like dog is
bear.
like Ryan Reynolds or something.
It was a side by side of Timothy and the oh god, I don't know her name.
Natalie
or whatever
Natalie,
it is.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
It's like Yeah, well, this one I haven't seen this one before. It's like Photoshop to have half and half, but it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's actually insane that they have like such unique face shapes, but they line up perfectly.
How wild would it be if like just for the fun of it, they like announce one day they're like, yeah, they're actually like twins, or even more wild, one of them is in drag of the other. Like, so it's the same person.
Okay, the weirdest that like
picture
realization
really stranges me out. That puts it in
the weirdest
really well.
realization I had was when I figured out that Timothée Chalamet is an American and Spider-Man. Man, I am so bad with names. This happened last episode too. What is Spider-Man's name? Tom Holland. Tom Holland's British. Yeah. I thought for the longest time it was opposite because they both portray people of like with accents, but the opposite accents. And then I heard them like, because they're one's dating Zendaya and one was like is good friends with Zendaya, and they were like in the same room together and they were talking normal. I'm like, my entire world was flipped upside down.
It's also like Timothée Chalamet was, I think he lived in France for a bit, so he is like weird, but he's from New York. That's like his big personality thing.
He lived in France, so he is weird.
He ate
I heard
legs,
that one of them, I can't remember which one, but used to make like YouTube videos of them customizing game controllers, like Xbox game.
Yeah.
That's super
Timothy
funny.
Did that.
They like went and dug up like his old videos, and it's just like this little tiny kid, and he's like, who would have known?
It's funny as I feel like from interviews I've seen of him, like he's still proud of that.
Oh yeah,
like, it's still cool to him.
Did you ever hear about, like, do both of you know Lorde?
Like the singer?
The musician?
The singer, yeah. No, Jesus is.
Yeah, like from South Park.
Yeah.
Like from South Park.
Yeah. So there's this like what? There's this wild fan theory for a bit that she was actually this food review blog of like where to find the best French fries in different cities. And the reason was that fans that like stumbled across following like this semi-viral like French fry reviewer and Lorde, they started to realize that like coincidentally they were in like similar places often. So she was like doing a tour somewhere or a concert, and then this reviewer was doing that, and then it was revealed it was actually her.
Oh,
and it
really?
was just like,
okay.
How wild is that? Yeah. Where it's just like she was
so
like,
did
yeah,
she
that's
like
me.
not show her face?
Yeah, she didn't want it to be like a celebrity thing. She just wanted to do it for fun because she liked eating French fries and reviewing them. Like,
okay, I thought maybe like she showed her face and everything, and people were like, "Wow, you two look similar." Oh, no. So it was they actually had to do some detective work.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like it was just, I think it was her hands, and then I don't even think she talked. I think it was all like text on the screen kind of reviews.
Kind of creepy that they identified it through her hands.
It definitely brings up a question around like the trackability with like modern technology and stuff like that. For sure.
What celebrity do you think you could see their hands and identify them?
Their hands?
Yeah, just their hands.
No one. Literally no one.
Yeah, I can't.
I think you're selling yourself short, actually. Like, I feel like you could. Like,
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq is just ginormous. But like, and then again, like any basketball player has ginormous hands.
I would just assume Shaq.
Did you guys see that video of him taking a fan met him at this event, and it was a no photography event, but the fans snuck their camera and like did this to try to get a selfie, but Shaq's like 13 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
So he looked down at the camera and made
like...
perfect eye contact with it. So it's this really funny video of this fan like hiding their phone there. They walk up, they meet Shaq, and it sees them and they're oblivious to it. Like they didn't realize till after they had checked the footage. But yeah, Shaq's like there, takes the picture. Perfect eye contact.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a benefit or a curse to be that tall?
Curse. Well,
yeah.
If you can play basketball,
I guess.
it's pretty good.
But also, like,
I think.
well, okay, that's another thing too, because like I've seen some players that are like, I mean, you can like kind of like baseball pitchers, you can kind of like build a baseball pitcher just by like looking at their mechanics, and like if they're lanky, like they have the good mechanics to be a pitcher, and so you can like kind of like build them to be that. Same with kind of basketball in that sense, is like if you have somebody that's like 8 feet tall, then you know, even if they have no skills, you can still put them under a hoop and they can like rebound.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like height, it's also like weird from a perspective, because what's our? I feel like we're all like average height, shorter height, right?
I feel pretty short these days.
I feel like I'm probably the tallest out of us.
Just these days. You've felt tall other days.
Yeah, well, like, you know, I'm definitely not getting any taller now. So
That's fair.
And like, I just feel like I notice more often now that I go places and everyone's like fucking 6'3" or something.
Because you could like kind of debate yourself like earlier when you're like, oh, I'm still growing. Like
yeah.
Well, I always felt like I was like just kind of a normal size, but now I'm like, no, on average for where I live, like I'm short.
We got a lot of Dutch people around here. Dutch people are tall.
Yeah. I don't think you're short. I think you're like average. Like I think you're like very. That was gonna sound very mean. I was about to say I think you're very
so
average.
Fucking mid.
You're like the most average person
really
I know.
about you. You got an average sized head amongst us. We
That's
got
not a
big
bad
head,
thing.
small head, and average head.
Yeah.
Average everything.
Average person. That's your nickname. Not even
No,
average.
I just
man.
have like multiple experiences, even just in the summer, going to like a little street market or some kind of event, and I look around and I'm like, holy fuck, like everyone here is like significantly taller than me. Not only that, but they got like 80 pounds on me.
So I know what you mean, because like at trivia night that one time when I brought my friends Josh and Devin, the couple, they are like deceptively tall to me every time, because I usually am playing D&D with them, so we're all sitting and we all have normal torso height. So it's like you're amongst peers at the table, and then at the end of the night they go to stand up and I'm just like, holy shit, they're giants. Like,
Yeah. Well, and Connor, he's tall too.
Yeah, that's true.
But
there's also a lot of like Dutch in those folks.
yeah. There's like a lot of like Eastern European.
Yeah.
Like European, and they tend to be very tall. The only time I've ever felt like, I mean, as like growing up, I had like a late growth spurt, so I was kind of the short one for a while. Not like super short. Nobody like made fun of me for my height, but like I could tell that I was like smaller than everybody else. But then I like had my growth spurt, very like average height. Like I think I'm like probably 5'11" or 6 feet.
How tall you are right now, you said?
Yeah, like right now I think
okay.
I'm like 5'11" or 6. But my one friend used to play for like a university basketball team, and I got to know him just like through our careers and stuff like that. And he is probably he's got to be like 6'7", I think.
Oh wow.
And
Jesus.
every time I see him, he always like, because we're very familiar with each other, so we'll like give each other a hug and like, hey, how's it going? And I have never felt like such a child than when he gives me a hug, because I literally come up to like his nipple and he just like engulfs me.
Just nestle right in there.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, I miss you, and like this is really nice, I want to give you a hug, but at the same time I'm like, man, this feels weird.
It's like you could kill me in the Hunger Games. Like,
yeah, I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad.
Going back to the original question, I think overall it would be a detriment. Like it would make life harder more than it would make it like more enjoyable, I think.
I think it's all related to accessibility, right? So everyone builds to the average, like everyone, right? So whatever that like particular region, country, whatever the case is, builds to an average, like height, weight, whatever, right? So like any sort of like existence outside of that, you always come with like some sort of inaccess, right? So Shaq, I think, has even talked about that, where there's a lot of things he can't like be involved in because of the way we build things culturally that aren't accessible for someone of his height, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with, there's a British comedian, Greg Davies, if either of you have heard of him. He does Taskmaster. He was on In-Betweeners. Really good comedian, so. Side note. But he's also like 6'10" or something, like just shy of 7 feet, I think. Like he's a pretty tall guy, I believe. I might be over exaggerating, but in all of his interviews, he's always just like he's the height of two people kind of thing. It always seems like that. But
okay, this actually, I just remembered now. I did not remember this until just now. I actually have like a history in my family of giants.
Mythological
or like old,
like actual giants, or just
like, mythological. Like we are no, like medical. They all died like when they were like in their 30s and stuff like that. But like in the last like I think it's like 8 generations of my family or something like that, going back to like this would be on my mom's side, so like Ukrainian, Russian side. Like back in like Europe, they only lived until like their mid 30s, but they legitimately were over like 7 feet tall. They had like the actual like they were designated with like gigantism or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah. But I also have some weird family history of like people with webbed toes and stuff like that. So
just mutants.
Yeah, like actual mutants. I'm like Leela from Futurama.
You just like look back at your family history and it's just like a lot of my relatives went to Professor X's Academy for Gifted Youngsters. Like,
yeah, I didn't
weird
look
that we
out.
got
I didn't get any of it
from there.
I didn't get any of the mutations. I wish I had a mutation.
Yeah, what would be a mutation that you would like?
I don't know.
So not
I want a tail,
but like
no, just like
yeah,
like a realistic mutation. I want a tail. I definitely want a tail. Like a full-on monkey tail, like Dragon Ball Z.
That you can use, like functionally.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining you with like a docked like boxer tail.
No, the one that they like cut off. Why do they do that? Why do they?
I don't know if they do
I
anymore.
think with you're not supposed to. Like I don't think vets will do it for you, but I think the point for those like smaller, well not smaller, but those more stout kind of dogs, short-haired dogs, was because their tails like legitimately hurt if they wagged or like whipped you.
Oh, why?
And so they just chopped them off.
Just because they've been bred, I guess. So like,
yeah.
Yikes. Because I know like the ear pinching and stuff like that is like completely aesthetic. Like there's no reason to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's even hard now to get vets to cut off dogs like their dew claws.
Yeah, their dew claws, yeah.
Like you kind of have to show them that it's caused injury or is an issue for them to even cut those off. And like they can be pretty bad. Like if they get ripped off on a hike or something, like they bleed a lot.
Yeah.
So
God. Dew claws freak me out. They're just like hanging there. Kind of like baby toes also kind of freak me out. Like you could just stub your baby toe and it's just like gets ripped off. maybe not that, but like you know what I mean?
Is that a regular anxiety you live with every day?
Yeah, that's every time I walk past a bedpost.
I could be decapitated here.
No, but I want a tail. I want a tail. 100% I want a tail.
Does this have to be like a real kind of mutation, like
a semi-functional, realistic? You don't get laser eyes.
Yeah.
I can't ask for wings or something.
I mean, you could have like growths off your back.
Yeah, like, well, okay, I guess I kind of cheated then, because like I don't know if humans have ever like had a mutation where they've actually had like a functional tail like a monkey.
No,
it's just been like kind of a little nub, and I mean it's still like a large portion of baby, or I shouldn't say a large portion, but a larger than you would think proportion of babies are born with tails, like vestigial tails, that the doctors like remove. I don't know the exact like numbers and stuff, but I've heard it's like a more than you would think amount. So yeah, maybe I cheated, because I don't think I would actually get like an actual working tail. I would just get like a nub that like would make it hard to sit places.
Actually, that was my first thought, was sitting down would become a nuisance, but maybe not. I don't know.
You just gotta do
like an extra
Super Saiyan thing, wrap it around your waist like a belt.
Oh yeah, tie it, yeah. But if it's just like this little nubby like vestigial tail,
then you can't do anything.
Yeah, like what's that movie, Shallow Hal? Did you ever watch that movie?
Yeah, his friend.
Yeah, the friend has like a little vestigial tail that when he gets excited it wags.
Yeah.
It'd just be like that. Yeah, no, I don't want that. Maybe like an extra finger. That'd be chill.
Often those aren't functional either.
Yeah, they just kind of like dangle there.
Yeah.
I guess like realistic mutations are like doubling up on something we already have, or like
we haven't.
I don't think I'd want any.
I think there is one that we're not accounting for that is cool, or theoretically cool. It would be eye color, because like blue eyes were a mutation and still are like a thing. So like they've theorized that I think it was pink could be a possible human eye color, which would be weird.
But like it's not functional.
No, you just gotta be like the first pink-eyed human.
Yeah.
Well, saying it like that makes it sound like you have like like the pink eye illness.
Yeah. Like I guess there is function to your eye color. Like dark eye colors usually come from like very sunny regions and stuff like that, because the light gets absorbed into the iris instead of the pupil, and so it's like that kind of thing. But
I think that was like the study that, or like the theorized with the pink eyes, was that it was due to either like influence of technology or space travel or something like wacky like that. But so yeah, I would pick like just a cosmetic thing like that, like be the first person with a new hair color, like, or new eye color, or like I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like an eyebrow, but like in concept of an eyebrow instead of like, so you know how the eyebrows are like a functional tool to keep like things out of your eyes.
Yeah, like debris. And
yeah. So it's like, what's a theoretical thing that we could have on our body that's like the eyebrow, that has like a function to it, but is like minor change.
Maybe if you had like little troughs that can collect rainwater.
And then like
and
a
then
straw.
downspout.
Yeah, you get a curly like.
It's like the beer helmets. It's like the beer helmets, but it's just your eyebrows.
Biological.
Biological beer helmet.
Well, I mean, we're already
okay, well,
joking.
if you can have that, I can have my wings.
Yeah, you can have wings. It's just they're gonna be like
little.
They're just gonna be
things.
gross. Yeah, they're gonna be like weird growths that are coming off your back.
I don't want to mutate.
But
this sounds awful.
Also, though, like wings, that's like it's evolutionarily like hands.
Yeah.
So it would be your arms that would be the wings.
Well,
that's what you think.
I'm trying to think of if there's anything that has both that's real.
I don't
think there
well,
is.
okay, so like there's no
it's
like
usually the trade-off
mammals.
is
Or
the trade-off is often that you're losing your hands for
like there's like
so
insects. You could have insect wings maybe, but then that wouldn't be like an evolutionary that'd be a pretty big leap.
Yeah, you wouldn't be bipedal.
Yeah. Because like everything.
That I believe is a mutation. Being bipedal is a mutation. Because
well, I mean everything is like kind of.
Yeah,
everything
course,
is
right?
kind of
So
a
that
mutation, but
that means that's kind of what I'm thinking about is like what will the next step past humans look like? Well, what will the significant biological change be?
I I saw like their predictions, and it's like people are just gonna become like uh closer and closer in terms of like looks and stuff like that, because we have this ability to travel more, so people are making babies with people from around the world. So it's just like eventually it's gonna like bring, you know, eye color, skin color, hair color closer to like an average of everything. And I mean it's obviously like a little bit different with like dominant and recessive genes and stuff like that, but overall it's gonna bring it more to like this average kind of like of all the different all of the different traits kind of thing. But that's, I mean, assuming that there isn't in the future some crazy event that that like separates everything.
You know, those aren't really believable things that can happen, right?
Yeah, no, a plague that shuts down the world for like 3 years. That's not gonna happen.
That only happens in movies. Have you ever heard about the evolutionary theory of like that infants are the best guess of what the next evolutionary step will look like? So like the theory is that like humans look like baby apes, or like baby like what would the species be?
Wait, humans look
called.
like
so it's like
chimps?
The idea is like before humans. So like if we take like Homo habilis or whatever it was that we like mutated from, humans looked more like the Homo habilis infants than the adult Homo habilis because of like the way our traits worked, right? So like so off of that theory, babies have like big eyes, big heads, like so I'm already, maybe I'm the next.
You're the
maybe the big head is the
you're
mutation.
the predictor.
I already got
well,
one. Yeah,
okay.
I don't need a mutation.
Like,
I already got a football helmet head.
In terms of what we might look like in the future though, like if we've made all these tools now, so like they like genuinely, I have seen like some scientists believe that like cell phones, stuff like that is gonna eventually change how humans actually look.
Like heads.
And like they're already starting to see some of this stuff with like eyesight and all that. But if you take into account like we have such good technology when it comes to like clothing and stuff now, like eventually are we gonna need hair? Are we gonna like evolve to a point where we don't have any hair? And like weird stuff like that. So who knows? Like maybe we just look like absolute freaks in the future.
Well, that's the irony of it though, is like it wouldn't be weird for them, right? Like I like that idea too in concept of like time travel thought experiments where it's just like, oh, I'll go to the future and see all like the cool flying cars, and that's like you go to the future and like everyone's like pink eyes, bald, like babies. Like giant babies with pink eyes and no hair.
Nobody talks anymore because we lost the ability because we just all like AI speak through like some sort of like Wi-Fi.
They've got like little
chip implant in our heads.
That makes it seem like they're even like more like babies though, because they got like little speak and spell toys or something with them.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah.
And that would be so funny to go to the future and you just come across that and you're like, well, that's something I should have never comprehended.
Yeah, actually, what happens if like 1,000 years like goes by, where like 1,000 years of technology where we haven't had to like speak, because all of it is just through like what's Elon Musk's like thing, Neuralink? Is that what it's called, Neuralink?
Yeah, but the question is if
so.
we'll ever do that too, right?
I think that we will. To be honest, I think we will. It's like there are so many things where a long time ago people said the exact same thing, especially with like medical stuff. Yeah. Like where we were like, are we gonna actually like be able to put a heart in somebody, like have a heart replacement, or like they have like ability to do like full eye replacements and stuff like that now. So like crazy stuff like that, where a long time ago people were like, yeah, but are we actually going to do that? And like we've already made ourselves into like cyborgs. Like if you want to take the definition of like what a cyborg is, like partially like human but partially machine. I mean, that's already a thing. We have pacemakers. Pacemakers are an inserted device that help people stay alive. So like if you're able to do that, and yes, I'm not saying that like Neuralink is that. Well, I mean, it is for a medical purpose, because it is. I think they are designing it to. Yeah, for like functionality. Yeah, exactly. So there is a medical purpose for it too. So if they're. Yeah, so if they're like pairing that with also the bells and whistles they want to put into it, like, you know, we can also help you to walk again, but also we're gonna throw in like the latest iPhone 26 into this thing, so you don't have to like talk anymore. Like, sure. Like, you know,
maybe we will.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in the future, definitely.
Yeah, that's fair. So I do have a thought experiment for us to talk about today for hosting.
Okay. I'm in.
It's a two-waved conversation, though. So first wave, second wave.
A two-waved. Okay.
Yeah, it comes in phases.
You've put thought in this.
So the first phase, and this is such a sharp turn to just like degeneracy. So I apologize.
No, I want the degeneracy. We showed that we can fake having an intelligent conversation.
So now let's get to the real meat and potatoes here. The stuff
what we actually think about. What we actually think about.
The important human questions. All right, here's the scenario. We got a battle royale Hunger Games situation going on. So I'm assuming both of you are familiar with the Hunger Games. You've watched the movies or read the books.
I have not watched the movies, have not read the books, but you've told me everything I need to know.
Okay, Hunter.
I think I may have watched the first two. There are multiple movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've watched the first two.
The only thing I've ever seen is I think there's one point where she's up in a tree and she like hits the bee's nest onto somebody.
Yeah. Tracker.
Yeah, that happened.
That's the only thing I've seen.
That did happen. Have you ever seen Battle Royale?
Like, I know what a battle royale is. Is it a movie?
Like it's a Japanese movie, yeah.
Oh no, I haven't.
No.
Okay, but essentially, Hunger Games Battle Royale, same concept for this rules here. So you're taking roughly like preteens, teenagers, so like children ages 8 to 18, and we're putting them into a battle, like last man standing sort of scenario. And now I want you both to think of fictional children that you think would be successful in these situations. So,
Spy
for
Kids.
Example, oh, great answer! Actually, I didn't even have to give you an idea of where it was going, and you come up with a banger answer. That's a really good one, actually. I'm so surprised I didn't think of that. That's super good. Yeah, like Carmen, like his older sister, she could easily win the Hunger Games. Wow. All right, well, there goes the entire first wave, because I can't think of anyone who can beat her. That's super good.
I haven't seen the Spy Kids for so long, but like probably like 3 years ago, one of our other mutual friends, we were at my place together, and I think it was just like on TV, and I was like, oh, Spy Kids, I haven't seen that in forever. Turn it on. Man, it did not age well. Oh my god, the CG is so horrible.
They did like a
bad.
reboot sequel just recently. I watched on Netflix. It is so weird. It's so weird watching that franchise as an adult. Like,
what's the reboot? Like new kids and everything?
Yeah, so like they did like a sequel to like 3D. It was called like Spy Kids Time Over or something. And that was like 6 years ago or something that they made that. Like Jessica Alba was the mom. The kids were new. It did okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they did... So this new one that just came out, it's supposed to be like a reboot. Because it vaguely follows, like, the plot of the first movie / like, inspired elements from 2 and 3. But the kids aren't, like, Junie and they're not Junie and Carmen. The parents aren't, like, the same parents. But, like, the plot and story are, like, is very reminiscent of the first movie. Like,
I'm always amazed that you just remember these people's names.
The characters.
Like, yeah, I'm so...
Like, the kid who plays Junie grew up to marry Meghan Trainor, like the singer. Like, his name's Daryl something.
Yeah.
And there was like a big controversy. He also just looks like a genie. There's like a big controversy, not controversy, I don't know what you call it, but when they were like first started dating, there's a paparazzi picture of them walking out of a sex shop together with like an unreasonable amount of bags of like of like sex toys, and it was just like, it was like, all right, Junie, like, live your best life, man.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for them. Like, they're having a good time.
Seven bags of lube. That's all they bought.
It was like the picture to me. Like, I'm obviously remembering it way more extreme than it was, but I remember just like both of them like struggling to hold how many bags they had. It probably wasn't that bad, but like, yeah, that's just how I remember it. But Beef Supreme, what's a fictional child you would have faith in being able to survive a battle royale situation, fight to the death, against other fictional children?
What's like the age?
So it's like 8 to 18.
8 to 18. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of like Wild Ball things like the kids from Recess, but the Power Rangers. Like, they obviously wouldn't have their powers, but...
I also think Codename Kids Next Door, any one of them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think number 2, was it number 2 that was my favorite? Was the kid that had like the hair that was like covered his eyes, was that number 2?
I think that was actually number 4.
Oh, maybe.
Because number 1 was like the guy that was like the parody of Captain Picard.
Yeah, he was like bald and like had the
sunglasses.
The sunglasses, yeah.
And then number 2, I think, was the pilot.
Oh, maybe.
How old was the girl supposed to be in Kick-Ass?
Oh, yeah, she would qualify because she was like 14,
yeah.
12 or something. So, yeah,
that's
a good answer.
She would win for sure.
That's
she would kill the Spy Kids.
Yeah, Hit Girl.
She would kill the Spy Kids for sure. Yeah.
I would still maybe give Junie like a Katniss edge, where like
Hit Girl
is like Hit Girl's for sure the career type, where she's trained her whole life. She comes in the Hunger Games, she's murdering kids left, right, and center first day, secures like the resource pool. But like Junie could be in the forest for long, like, you know, trying to come up with a way to...
That is a good point, because I think the only reason that Hit Girl wouldn't win is because she's too blood hungry, and she would tire herself out. And she struggles.
It makes her predictable.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, like, you know she's gonna try to kill you. There's no other game plan here.
Whereas like Junie and what's the sister's name? Carmen?
Yeah.
Junie is like a wild card, and like people don't know, they're not gonna know how to deal with him, and they're gonna discount him, but he's really just a distraction. And then Carmen comes in and like fuck shit up. Like Junie's just sitting there correcting his band-aids on all of his warts or whatever it was.
I remember.
And then Carmen comes in, like, sticks you in the neck, you know?
He like falls off a cliff, gets luckily caught on a branch, and like people are throwing spears at him. And then Carmen comes in.
But they don't get powers though, right? Like they just get like their intelligence and like anything like that, but not any associated
The things is like there would be weapons, and there would probably be themed weapons, but in both the Hunger Games and Battle Royale. So in Battle Royale, it's random. The kids get a backpack, and they can have a weapon in there from as like simple as a pair of binoculars to like a pan to cook food to like an assault rifle.
Okay.
That's Battle Royale style. Hunger Games is they have the cornucopia, but usually if you run to that, you're gonna get likely killed. but that has like all types of weapons, all types of supplies. The secondary thing is people can sponsor you in the world. So if they want to pay for their favorite tribute to get a weapon, they can pay the in-game sponsorship. Oh, they don't care. They don't care if it's fair. They want to see kids kill each other. It's a terrible fascist dystopia. Like
that is true.
Okay, I have another suggestion. The girl from The Exorcist, while possessed.
But the
no powers.
The demon though that possessed her is like thousands of years old.
That's why like
true.
I would like probably disqualify 11 from Stranger Things. But all those other nerds, they can get thrown in the mix and they're not making it.
Okay, but it also like they can't be supernatural either, right? So like I can't pick like Casper.
No, he's already dead. Yeah. You can pick human Casper.
That's what I mean.
You can pick like, human Casper who drinks the potion to come back. No. And he has the dance with the...
God. Okay, this is super cringe.
Actually, I would love to see this as a video. Like Casper comes in and he's like, you don't know who he is at first. You're like, who the hell's this kid? You get the reference for all the other ones. He gets stabbed and he floats into a cartoon ghost.
But like, I was just thinking, like, if he's already dead, like, you can't kill him, and he's a kid. He is a kid, so.
But can he kill kids as a ghost?
I don't know. I can't really remember the movie much because can he touch?
Well, he can interact. Yeah, he can for sure interact.
He befriends them.
Yeah.
He befriends them, but then leads them to their death somehow.
Yeah, he would be like, if we're gonna let Casper in, we're not going to, actually. I can't. That'll open too many I was willing to entertain the idea for like a second, but I was like, no.
Oh my god, I just thought of the dumbest crossover ever. Could you imagine a Ghostbusters Casper crossover? With a Ghostbuster just vacuum Casper up.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny. It'd be ever quick. Like, Casper would be like, "Hi guys, you want to be friends?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey guys, can I whoop?
Movie ends. Like,
and then it just shows Casper
for tickets.
It shows Casper in like the trap with all of the actual like really demonic ghosts that they've caught, and he.
That's really funny. Oh my god.
Okay, who was your pick, Derek?
I didn't have a pick. I just had ideas to help, like...
Well, I mean, you can't...
Both of you guys have come up... Oh, no, for sure. Like, both of you have come up with ones that just completely threw me off. I'm very proud of both of your answers. Yeah, but I was just thinking of, like, okay, so... the kids from Willy Wonka, because they already kind of went through... the death
but they were shown to be terrible at it. They all lost.
That's true, I guess. Well, maybe Charlie would be the underdog.
Charlie's the only one.
He'd be the underdog in the Hunger Games. What other ones did I have? Oh, Recess. So I thought Spinelli could potentially make it pretty far in a Hunger Games scenario. Or Gus. Gus would be a wild card too, I think, where he has like the military training or whatever from his dad. He's fucking killer with the dodgeball, that if he got like a cannonball with spikes.
I just imagine Hit Girl though, Hit Girl just demolishing them though.
Yeah, that's true. The Hit Girl
just
definitely
like butterfly knife from across the field into the head. Like
I shouldn't be laughing so hard at this, but it's so accurate. Oh my god. The kids from It.
You know who I'd love to see? Oh, from It?
Yeah. They I think good. Like Beverly could be good. She was pretty resourceful. Stan's done. Stan kills himself in the second movie. Stan's out.
Yeah, most of them are done.
Eddie's done for sure.
Yeah. No, I think they all get demolished.
Oh, I don't know, this is kind of dickish, but I would love to see Caillou participate just so I can watch him die. Fucking Caillou.
Okay, who would be the first to die? Caillou. Any of the kids from, like, Rugrats.
They're too young. They don't qualify unless it's the grown-up series or all grown-up series when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
So then they can qualify at that age.
But
the
still,
Weekenders,
Chucky would get.
Oh, Chucky would be like absolutely murdered.
Yeah, they would like it would like cut forward to like a night scene, and they just have like Chucky on a spit roast, like roasting over a fire.
Oh my god.
Tino Tonatini could do.
Yeah.
I think Tino would probably
Tonatini,
die.
yeah.
Who's
What was
Tina
the
Tonatini?
one-
That's the Weekenders.
Yeah, Weekend.
You said,
Weekenders, yeah.
Oh, the kids from Bob's Burgers. Tina could qualify.
Yeah. Tina
Eugene
would get
might,
decimated. Eugene would get decimated.
but I don't think Louise would be old enough. She might be, but she could be a wild card choice. I feel like too.
Yeah, I feel like Louise is. She's 7. I can't remember.
So yeah,
But
that's what
honestly,
I mean.
out of any of those 3, Louise would be the most likely to survive.
Oh yeah, that's like for sure. But I think she'd be too young to qualify. So
Yeah.
the
Jean
Belcher
would get
kids
absolutely destroyed.
the Belcher kids are done for.
Tina would just
Tina,
yeah, she would just stand there and make noises.
As she's getting like hatchets thrown at her.
Talk to her imaginary horse.
In death as she's dying. Who else? Like the Digidestined, Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, I don't think anybody from Pokemon would survive.
Yeah, because they.
Unless they had their Pokemon.
Yeah, they wouldn't. That would be.
Yeah.
That could be an arena.
Same
problem.
with Digi. Yeah.
Like
same
it
with
could
the
be like
Digimon.
a thing where they just let chaotic like Charizard loose.
A wild Charizard.
And they put a bunch of Pokeballs around the arena.
Honestly though, okay, if I'm gonna pick a team member Pokemon to like battle and kill other people, like actually kill people, I think I'd pick a Gyarados. If it's
to kill children, I'd pick that Drifloon or whatever, the one that drags kids.
Oh
down.
yeah, Drifloom, yeah.
I'm thinking strategically here. That's what if I was a sponsor.
Yeah, that's true.
I would pay for a
Drifloom's
Drifloon.
pretty messed up.
Let it loose in the arena.
Yeah. You just like send all these kids into a field with a Drifloom, and all of a sudden you have a lot of phantoms starting to appear.
Casper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other like famous fictional like kids properties. The Power Rangers, I feel like I would want them to get pretty far, but I feel like they would also die because they would focus
in my
too
mind,
much on
though,
the showmanship.
Yeah, in my mind, the Power Rangers, even though I know like canonically they are teenagers, in my mind I don't see them as teenagers. Like I see them as grown adults.
That's fair.
What about Kim Possible?
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
She could do well.
That's another really good one. She definitely would be like up there with Carmen. We're like, okay, so here's
maybe.
Oh, sorry.
I think that was Honey.
Oh, okay.
She groaned.
Honey, who do you think what child do you think would survive a death battle?
Honey she'd love to kill children.
I like how nobody else knows that Honey's a dog.
Yeah.
Honey's a toddler.
Yeah.
So Kim Possible and Carmen from Spy Kids, I feel like would probably make an alliance. And that would be Hit Girl's biggest weakness. There we go.
There's a thumbnail.
Hello.
There's a thumbnail.
She looks so scared.
She's like, why are you talking about killing the small humans?
No, Honey would kill a small human. Honey's psychotic.
She's nuts.
But yeah, Hit Girl's weakness would be not willing to make an alliance, for sure, or not being able to.
Yeah.
Because Kick-Ass would technically be qualifying too, because he's a teenager in the movie.
Yeah.
The kid, the super bad, actually, McLovin. McLovin's in the Hunger Games.
He literally has no fighting skills.
They don't have to. A lot of the kids don't. We need a lot of cannon fodder.
Actually, that's a good point. So, okay, who would be most likely to survive the longest with, like, no fighting skills? Because then, like, Louise would survive. McLovin, they would kill McLovin. He would piss everybody off, and they would just kill him.
Yeah, exactly. He has terrible negotiation, diplomacy skills.
Then you would have, like, the leaders that kind of, like, pop up that don't necessarily have the fighting skills, but have, like the strategic mind or something like that.
Yeah, Bill from It would have an advantage because he was able to, like, rally his troops. And I feel like he could probably inspire some odd misfits type group, right? So
does it ever happen in, like, the movies, because I haven't watched them, where it's like they come to a crossroads where they're like they don't want to kill a person because not because they're like friends or anything with them, but because they just like they're like the sitting duck, like they're the one that everybody expects to die, so they kind of like take pity on them.
In the Hunger Games or in Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happens.
In either one.
Yeah, that.
Because
I'd say that happens in
I
both
see what
franchises.
happens.
Yeah, like a lot of the times it's like a lot of them will be like, it's not worth the energy. The wilderness will kill them. If they're like, so it's like, essentially both of these movies creates 3 types of children. So there's the killers, like the straight up murderers. There's the straight up dyers. The ones who will get killed and who won't make it. And then there's a large pool of people in the middle who are like, I guess we'd have to go killer, survivor, and prey.
So like in the movies though, aside from the
so the survivors
aside from the
often,
though,
yeah,
who survives the longest?
So like in Hunger Games, like the people that survive the longest are like Katniss and Peeta. Peeta's kind of like in the middle where he's not really like a hunter type. He's strong and he's resourceful and he aligns with careers briefly. And he has like good charisma, but he's not like Katniss where he's like super deadly with a particular weapon. He's not like a career where he's trained in like physical combat. Thresh is similar in that sense. He's this kid from this poorer district who's like a physical threat, but he's a lone wolf. He doesn't interact with the other kids, but he does spare Katniss because Katniss was allied with his district partner who was a young girl who she helped. Then like there's a girl named Foxface. She's like really smart. She survives in the woods collecting like and foraging. Like she spent all of her time learning about like what food is edible, what is dangerous, how to collect water. She makes it very far, I think to like Final Four actually. In Battle Royale, same scenario. Like there's a bunch of people who just try to survive outside of the protagonist group. Like,
okay, I just thought of one, but I don't know if it's gonna break your rules though, because like Gohan from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we're not letting Saiyans into the... We're not.
Oh, so okay, so now we're racist against Saiyans. Okay, I see how
I don't care. This is a fascist dystopia. Again, I'm not letting aliens in.
Okay, yeah. I guess because like you wouldn't
be biologically 100% human.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't let like young line. Superman. Or like what's the Superman from like Smallville? Like,
yeah, Kryptonians and Atlanteans, like.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because I mean, then it's not like a. Well, I guess it is their power, but it's also just like their biological strength.
Yeah, like
but
Gohan.
I guess that is their power.
Gohan could, in an instant, teleport around the arena and like snap every kid's neck.
Yeah, exactly. Because like there are so many in anime that like Tanjiro from like Demon Slayer. That would be a real good pick, is when he gets like his sun breathing technique or whatever, because he can just like instantly like decapitate like 4 people at a time.
Yeah.
It's like incredible like sword skill. Honestly, anybody from Demon Slayer, like even like Zenitsu, just like falls asleep and then just like is amazing at fighting. So like anime has a ton, but like they all have like powers and stuff.
So Beef Supreme, this one's for you. Pre like spice infected Paul Atreides.
No, Paul would get destroyed. Paul would get destroyed.
Yeah, I don't think he's the strongest fella out there.
Pre like
Chani though.
Paul.
Chani would kill people.
Oh yeah, for sure. She would be a good choice. I'm also thinking like
and she doesn't have any like special powers.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, the orphan.
But like,
do you know what's ironic about that? The orphan, as a side note, is that what she said?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even qualify.
But what's ironic about that is the actress who plays the orphan is in the Hunger Games.
Oh,
she's one of the
I was thinking it's
that's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's ironic because like the orphan is a kid, but also it's not even a kid. It's like it would get disqualified because like a 30, 40-year-old person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
No, but she plays. I think her character's name is Glimmer or Gloss or something like that. But that actress was actually the runner-up for Katniss, and then like Jennifer Lawrence got Katniss, and then they cast this other girl as one of the career tributes. And then Thresh, the guy that I mentioned earlier, who spares Katniss, he kills that girl.
I feel like anybody from a horror movie though, their whole thing is like creating an artificial situation where they have like the upper hand, where you wouldn't be able to necessarily do that in like a Hunger Games type situation. Like you could think up like traps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like
a lot
you're
of them,
not
like, prove themselves to be resourceful, if that makes sense. Like look at the kids from Scream.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the protagonists in Scream, like they prove to be able to take like. There's that. Have either of you watched like the newer Screams? I know Tyler. I think you and I talked.
Yeah,
I've
watched all the Screams.
You're caught up to all of them.
Yep.
So there's that one.
I think except for the very newest one, I don't think I've seen yet.
Oh, okay. I don't. Maybe it is from the newest one, but or maybe it was the one before the newest one. But the twin brother and sister characters. The brother like takes like 18 stabs and survives. Like he's good.
Yeah,
he's gonna
like
be a Hunger Games competitor.
Yeah.
Like he's for sure.
Well, yeah, like
to
even they're like Scream characters that get like Scream at like the whatever iteration of Scream, like they're get shot like multiple times and like still somehow survive.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, I'm trying to think of some more like
I have a diplomatic one.
Okay.
Who would be terrible at fighting but could make friends maybe. Cindy Lou Who.
Okay, explain.
Bring people together.
Explain.
I think she'd be able to bring a crew together, and she would just be kind of like the background.
I have a counter.
Leader.
I have a counter. So Cindy Lou Who comes in, and she makes friends with like a group of people, and brings some people together into a group. But it literally only takes like one psycho to be like, I'm gonna kill her, and like snipe her from a tree. 'Cause she's like completely defenseless.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate to be this guy, but I got a rules like lawyer here. Ironically, amongst a group of lawyers, but or two lawyers. That should be the podcast name: Two Lawyers and a Big Head.
Big head.
Big head and the two lawyers.
Stuck between two lawyers and a big head.
But Cindy Lou Who's not human.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And in canon,
she's a
like,
snowflake
who's
eating.
Yeah, they live in a
on
microscopic
in a snow globe.
realm. Yeah, so like,
True, she'd be so small. Well, that would be a good survival tactic. Nobody would be able to find her.
Okay, wait. The kids from Honey, I Shrunk the Kid then. Or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
1 sec.
Just shrink them down.
No powers. They can't use their.
I mean, that's not a power. That's a detriment. They get shrunk.
They're just getting
it's not a good
by
thing.
The ants. Like.
Yeah, everybody else is like fighting other people, and then they're just getting eaten by bugs.
So in the Hunger Games, like cannons go off whenever somebody dies, and then at the end of the night they display their pictures as like a tribute to like the fallen or whatever. So what would happen is like it'd be like 3, 2, 1, start. And then it's just like, and everyone's like looking around like who died, and then that night you'd be like, oh, it's the microscopic kids got eaten by ants.
Yeah, they shoot off the gun
like
for everybody to start. So everybody starts running, and then the cannon goes off because they got stepped on. Or it like starts to rain and the cannons go off because they drown.
After like it's like a little bit of a droplet, so then it cuts to them, and it's like one droplet completely obliterates all the kids. It's like a nuke going off for them. Oh gosh, that's funny. I don't know if we can do the power thing is really throwing me off.
Oh yeah, what was the second wave? Oh, I forgot there was a second wave.
Yeah, the second wave I don't know if we can do because you guys completely shocked me with your answers, and you kind of made clear like victors right away. So the second part of it was in the Hunger Games franchise. Every 25 years they have these things called quarter quells. And during a quarter quell they have enhanced rules on the normal Hunger Games like rules as like a anniversary. Let's kill more kids, let's kill kids more traumatically, like whatever, have a good like national holiday about it. But the plot of the second movie of the second book is that the quarter quell they have to reap, which is like picking their contestants from the pool of previous winners. So before that point, they were told that if you win, you get to live this life of luxury as a victor. You tour the capital, which is their like country, and you get to have like a fancy house in your district. You get unlimited resources, food, etc. But then in the second movie, and it's implied that they rig it because they want to kill Katniss. You have to be picked from the pool of victors. So the first phase of the question was going to be like kind of pick out standout people who would be possible of winning. And then the second one was to pick our like have our champions of champions Hunger Games. But now it's just like I've quickly realized like Hit Girl just like murders everybody both times.
How bad would that suck? If I'm understanding this correctly, how bad would it suck if like you were the year right before that quarter quell or whatever?
That's what happens to Katniss. Yeah.
And then go back to back. Oh, okay.
That's what happens to Katniss. So what it is they make this special rule in the first movie where they say if you're there with your district partner, because they pick a boy and a girl from each district to compete, and they make a rule late into the Hunger Games of the first one that says if your district partner's alive, you can both win. So Katniss and Peeta are alive, and then so are like the District 1 competitors, which are like the career competitors, so they illegally train to be better fighters so that they can compete in the Hunger Games as like a point of honor. So it's like those two districts have their like both their people left so they can both win, and then Katniss and Peeta win obviously, and then they say no, just kidding, one of you has to die, and then they try to pull this thing where they're both going to commit suicide. The capital can't have that because they need a winner, so they both get a win. Katniss becomes this like face of rebellion, so the capital's like, we need her dead, so they are naturally going to have a quarter quell the next year anyways because it's the 75th Hunger Games. But yeah, it's implied they rig it, so they take the original plan, burn it, put in the new plan, which is you can only be picked from the previous winners. They're from the poorest district, District 12. They only have 3 winners, 2 males, 1 girl, like females, so Katniss has to compete. Is like the plot of the second, and she's like obviously furious, has a panic attack, and is like throwing up and crying. And it's like, it's a terrible day for Katniss.
Honestly, that from what it sounds like, that has a better like horror movie plot than most horror movies.
Yeah, like the Hunger Games is actually like a pretty good franchise. Like I know it like came out around like the whole like book like love triangle-y time of media. But the love triangle is like not a huge point of the book or the movie. Like part of it is like how like a child is used for propaganda and like the complications between like they sort of parody the love triangle where it's like showing you why like that stuff is like more realistic than you think it is, but it's not as like, oh no, I've got two boys and one's cuter but the other one's smarter, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like that at all. Like it's honestly like it's worth a watch. I'd recommend it. Like the book.
I actually I should watch them. I mean, if it is a pseudo horror movie, I could watch it for Halloween.
yeah. I mean, I would consider it. Kids dying is pretty terrifying. Kids being pit to the death for like public spectacle, like that's like top 10 scariest
if
ideas.
if the purge is like a horror movie, then
yeah. What would you do, Purge Night? Curiosity. That's like maybe that's a good secondary.
I would
question.
bunker in and like hide as best I can.
Did you ever see the parody where like the guy builds like an illegally zoned deck in his backyard?
No.
Okay.
To hide in?
No, because it's like all crimes legal. So he's like, I can't get the proper.
Oh, so during the purge, he just builds an illegally zoned deck. Oh, I got what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, that's the type of crime I would do. I would save up all my tax receipts for purge day and then just commit tax fraud.
File taxes.
Illegally file my taxes.
But on that note, that was something I liked about the Purge movies too. Was like they addressed a lot of like the realistic nature of people's behaviors. Because when the first movie came out, I was like, no one's gonna be killing on Purge Night. A solid like 99.9% of human beings would hide and stay inside, right? Like it's just we're not like that bloodthirsty and evil, right? And then in the second movie they address that where like the purge is so lowly participated in because of that they have to have government squads like go out to cause problems to essentially force people out to fight their neighbors and try to survive the night.
I think a lot of people would just like, I think the majority of people would just hunker down. I would definitely hunker down. Like that, it's not worth the risk. Like why would I even like risk that? I'm not a bloodthirsty person that wants to know what it's like to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So I would just hunker down. I don't even know how I would. Like, could you drive? I guess you could just travel like the week or so before to like the wilderness. But then you might have some crazy person like track you down. I don't know. But like I feel like I would just like drive out and like to the middle of nowhere and just hunker down and camp or something. This is only one day. I could survive like 12 hours.
You just have to like survive the night kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a tough one. Like Beef Supreme, do you have a purge night?
Like how you just continue to call him Beef Supreme.
That's my name.
Yeah, it's his government name.
Like, what would I do on a purge night?
Yeah, I feel like you'd kill somebody.
I'd probably get killed.
Yeah, you 100% out of all the three of us, you would get killed for sure.
Yeah,
because you would want to do something stupid. It wouldn't be you wouldn't want to kill anybody. You would just want to do something that's stupid, and you would go outside and somebody would kill you.
Yeah, like I'd want to go like drifting or something. Like just go like have fun. Doing something I shouldn't be doing, and then just get murdered. But I was thinking about how it could be so good for the housing market.
Yeah.
If a lot of people died.
Well, that's the plot of the
house
movie.
Prices would just plummet.
The argument of like the reason why the government chooses the purge was for like economic benefit in a lot of ways, where they were like a massive decrease in population kept the economy healthy, and it's like.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a lot of
oh, for sure.
falsity to it, because imagine just all of these who's most likely to go out and kill people. It's kind of the younger aged people, I would say, probably 18 to 35. And then those are all the people with huge student loans. So all these students are dying and not being able to pay their student loans back, and then the banks are like, hey, we need money.
Well, and I don't think it would be necessarily homeowners or people who are secure that would be going out and killing or getting killed. It'd be like homeless people who have nowhere else to go.
Actually, so in the movie they do address that, where wealthy people will pay at-risk youth to hunt poor people down to capture and bring to a slaughterhouse, so that they have the upper hand where they can kill people without that risk of having to be.
Oh yeah, I vaguely.
Could you imagine
hire private
the amount
security,
of security?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the amount of security that somebody like Elon Musk would need?
Well, and that's another fucked up part of the movie, is that in the Purge announcement, they banned certain weapons and certain government officials and etc.
Oh, the president
from being
and stuff
that.
you
can't kill certain people. Now that doesn't mean that doesn't happen.
Nobody's gonna
that's
care.
The whole plot of the third
Trump's
movie
dying.
is that they. Well, the third movie is kind of a parody of the 2016 election with Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah,
and Donald
I forgot
Trump.
about that.
Yeah, so the Hillary Clinton analog, I guess, they hire a squad of people to try to kill her because she wants to stop the purge. And she's an off-limit government official, but they're like, who cares?
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Stop us? It's the purge. I've got a gun. So they have to, the whole plot of it is, the guy from the second movie is, her private security officer who's, trying to help her survive the night.
Man, that would be awful, being security detail on that.
That's what I mean by, again, the franchise is actually quite clever of, answering these. Well, wouldn't this you know what I mean? They're like, aha, we've thought of this.
Oh, that's funny. Well, should we head out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go celebrate the purge.
On that note.
Okay, well, Mr. Host, take us out.
Yes, all right, all you Nerdge.
Oh my God, he's doing the YouTube outro
you
again.
Nerdgians, remember to like, comment, subscribe, donate to our Patreon, buy our merch.
We don't have a Patreon.
We got these new shirts. We got cell phone cases.
I mean, that might not be a lie. We might have bought new shirts. We do have all those things.
Tell us what fictional child you'd like to see die the most. Which one do you think you'd like to see kill the most children? What would you do on Purge Night? Anyways, that's your host, Big Head, signing out for the evening here with my dynamic crew. We got Beef Supreme and yet to be named.
Oh God! Oh, that was great. Okay, well, on that note, see you later. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.